Bem-vindos ao nosso espaço, um mergulho profundo nos assuntos mais interessantes de esportes, ciências e temas gerais do momento. Aqui você vai encontrar conteúdo de qualidade, com análises empolgantes e descobertas fascinantes que vão expandir seus horizontes. Nossa missão é trazer informação relevante de forma dinâmica e descontraída. Queremos que você faça parte dessa jornada incrível de conhecimento e diversão. Se gostar do nosso conteúdo, não esqueça de deixar seu like e se inscrever no canal para não perder nenhuma novidade. Ative o sininho também. Aproveite!
If you love science, don't forget to like and subscribe. Have you ever noticed that the way we communicate is becoming faster, sleeker, but somehow thinner? Across the globe, thousands of languages are not just dying. They are undergoing a process that scientists and information theorists compare to one of the most terrifying concepts in physics: heat death. In thermodynamics, heat death is the state where all energy is distributed uniformly, and no more work can be performed. In linguistics, we are witnessing a version of this called linguistic heat death, a state where the rich, high-entropy structures of ancient tongues are eroded into a low-entropy, homogenized global standard. To understand this, we have to go back to 1948 and a man named Claude Shannon. Often called the father of the information age, Shannon introduced the world to information entropy. In his view, information isn't about the meaning of a word, but the degree of surprise it contains. If a message is 100% predictable, it carries zero information. For example, if I say, "The sun will rise in the," and you know the next word is east, that word has low entropy because it was expected. But if I use a rare, specific word from an ancient language that describes the exact shimmer of light on a specific type of moss, the entropy, the information density, is incredibly high because it is unpredictable and specific. Ancient languages, developed in isolation over millennia, are often masterpieces of high entropy. Take, for instance, the Ta language of southern Africa, which has over 100 different consonants, including dozens of distinct click sounds. Or consider the intricate evidentiality systems in many Amazonian languages, where you cannot simply state a fact without a grammatical marker indicating how you know it, whether you saw it with your own eyes, heard it from a reliable source, or simply inferred it. These structures force the human brain to process and categorize reality with a granular precision that modern, simplified languages like English or Mandarin often bypass for the sake of efficiency. But we are currently in the middle of a great simplification. As globalization connects us, it also acts as a massive linguistic filter. When two languages meet, the more complex one usually yields. This is known as grammatical leveling. We trade the beautiful complexity of irregular verbs and obscure cases for a streamlined version that everyone can understand quickly. While this is great for trade and global politics, it's a disaster for information entropy. We are effectively cooling down the linguistic temperature of our species, moving toward a state of maximum uniformity. The digital revolution has accelerated this erosion. Think about how you communicate on a daily basis. We use predictive text, emojis, and short-form memes. These are the ultimate low-entropy tools. Predictive text algorithms are designed to suggest the most likely word you'll use next, effectively training your brain to choose the path of least resistance. We are moving away from the surprisal of complex sentences toward a standardized, optimized flow of data that requires less and less cognitive effort to decode. And then, there is the rise of artificial intelligence. Large language models, like the ones that power modern search engines and chatbots, are essentially entropy sinks. They are trained on massive datasets to predict the most statistically probable next token. When an AI writes, it isn't seeking the most evocative or unique word. It is seeking the average word. As AI-generated content begins to flood the internet, we enter a feedback loop. Future ICE will be trained on the low entropy, averaged output of current ICE, leading to a further flattening of human expression. This is the linguistic equivalent of a photocopy, where the vibrant colors of the original thought are lost to gray noise. Why does this matter? Because language is the architecture of thought. When a high-entropy language dies or simplifies, we don't just lose words. We lose the unique ways of perceiving the world that those words enabled. Some languages have no words for left or right, only north and south, giving their speakers an internal compass that is nearly superhuman. Others have dozens of words for internal emotional states that English can only vaguely describe with long, imprecise sentences. Linguistic heat death represents a loss of cognitive biodiversity. If we all speak, think, and write in low entropy, optimized blocks of text, we lose the ability to think outside the system. We lose the jagged edges of language that allow for poetic leaps and radical scientific insights. We are trading the wild, overgrown forest of human speech for a neatly paved, but sterile, parking lot. The entropy is rising, and the heat of our ancient diversity is fading. But by studying these systems, we can perhaps find ways to preserve the noise, the beautiful, unpredictable, high-information quirks that make human speech truly alive. For more incredible facts like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.